I'd hoped to pick up Yen's trail and leave White Orchard before midday, but wherever there's an army, there are always hoops to jump through. I'd been searching for Yen on the path for 6 months. I'll admit, my armour had seen better days, and it was starting to smell like a nest of neckers. Not to mention how I'd chipped my silver sword after decapitating a drowner smoother than expected and followed through onto the boulder behind it. I really am getting old. A witcher shouldn't take on a griffin in such a state, and I definitely couldn't meet Yennefer for the first time in 6 years in such a state. That would be more dangerous than the griffin.
The Emperor shall guide us straight to Novigrad.
Okay, so we've got what we need to do. We're going to go and speak to Tomira and Mislav, get an idea of the situation with the griffin. Then we're just going to need to make sure we're well prepared. We're going to need to make sure we're well stocked up on potions, and we're going to need to upgrade our armour and swords. Now, if you're willing to take a little leap of faith, there is a sword over here. Nearly didn't make that. In this chest here, so we'll get a nice new sword. A bit of cash. And we won't be using armour of that sort. So we'll hop on Roach and we'll make our way to see the herbalist. Herbalist? Is that how the Nilfgaardians said it? I'm not sure. Afraid we won't be needing them, Geralt. Over here, Roach. There we go. Damn it, Roach. There we go.
Barbarians.
So let's make our way to the herbalist. So one thing I meant to say, I've slightly changed one of the mods, the experience curve mod that I'm working with.
Move it.
I've changed it. I lowered it down just because it's not a completionist playthrough. I was really going to struggle to level up, so I bumped it down to the next one, which is still a bit different. Uh-oh. Someone asking for help.
Giddy up. Slower.
Let's see what this fellow wants.
What happened?
Monsters! Monsters from the swamp! Folk said the road was fraught with peril, but I wouldn't listen. Got my comeuppance now.
Less moaning, more details. What happened, and how can I help? And remember, I don't work for free. Witcher's code and all.
Well, was on my way to the Black Ones to trade. Suddenly my horse got spooked, ran clear off the road. We hit a bump, I went flying and the horse and cart rolled on. Then I heard bubbling, neighing, slurping. Something came out from the muck, devoured Asher, hooves and all. No doubt my goods are still on the cart. but I'm too afeard to go and see. Thought maybe you... I'm most concerned about a little box. Bring it to me. I beg you.
Well, now that we know we have to hunt the griffin, we're going to need to take some jobs, so...
Fine, I'll go. Let you know if I find that box.
Okay. So we can see here that
Cart
it's
tracks. Rode off into the swamp.
so we've got company over there that we can hear. Let's make sure we're prepared. So we can see we've got some drowners. And we've got the cart just over here.
Here's the cart.
The cart has arrows sticking out of it. The drowners are steering clear for the moment.
Cart's riddled with arrows. Interesting. I should take a look around. An arrow. Didn't mention this.
Okay, let's go deal with these drowners. So drowners have light attacks and lunging attacks, and you can parry their light attacks.
Come on, come closer.
What's the camera doing? So if you do manage to set someone alight with Igni, you do need to let them burn for a bit. If you attack them, it stops the burning immediately. Okay. There's no more drowners lurking about. We're gonna need some of their innards for some potions, so don't know if we got any there though. Got a body.
Square in the neck. Good shot. Either the merchant's got serious memory problems, or he's lying.
Now we just need to find his little box.
Must be that box he mentioned. Splattered with blood. Human blood.
Seems like our friend has not been too honest with us. So Geralt definitely doesn't like being played for a fool. Although he does like getting paid, but if this guy was prepared to lie to us and riddle this cart with arrows, then perhaps after he's got what he wants, he's willing to riddle Geralt with arrows. So that means we need to confront him about his lies. Because once we give him the strongbox, if we just want to get paid, he might shoot us in the back. I'm sure Geralt will be too wise for that, but you never know.
Oh, and you find the box?
I've seen through your lies.
Yeah, found your priceless chest. And someone who looks an awful lot like a cart driver with an arrow through his neck. No dryads in these swamps, and never known a drowner or a water hag to use a bow. So lacking any other suspects, I'm guessing.
Watch out! Behind you!
There's nothing behind me. I'm a witcher, I'd have heard it. Just like I can hear your heart, which is pounding, like a liar's. Best hope you're a better writer than you are a liar.
Let's go, Roach.
Faster. Gotta get him out of here. Wake up. See? Can't run from the truth. Not even on horseback. Now who are you, and why'd you attack that cart?
Private First Class John Giermer, Tomirian 6th Division, 2nd Regiment. Disbanded, but still active. Underground, in the woods. That was a medical transport. I'd be damned if it reached the Black Ones. And the medicine, our lads could use it too. We've many ill among us. You let me go, and they might live and fight once more for a free North.
I mean, I suppose Geralt might feel a tinge of responsibility for the situation in Tomira, because he was with Foltest when he was killed. And although, in my opinion, my Geralt was on Yorvith's side in The Witcher 2, I still think we should let him go. I think perhaps out of some sort of loyalty to Roach, but just go.
Fine. Go. And may you and your soldier buddies hiding in the bushes be victorious in your struggle against Nilfgaard.
You've a vile sense of humor. But you're a decent man. Here, the gold I promised. Use it well. Drink to the silver lilies, and to Foltest's memory.
Roach. You and Roach
Thanks
got...
once again. Tomira has not yet perished as long as we still live.
Oh, that's not Roach. Over here, Roach. Seemingly straightforward stories often turn out to be anything but. The Witcher found the merchant's cart, and beside it signs of a malicious attack, organised by human hands. It seemed that the merchant had not told Geralt the whole truth. The confrontation that followed confirmed the Witcher's suspicions. Rather than stay to plead his innocence, the merchant immediately ran as fast as his legs could take him. It turned out that the merchant was no merchant at all, but a Temerian guerrilla. After Geralt heard the man explain his story and motives, he decided to let him go to continue his futile battle against the Nilfgaardian occupiers. Okay, so we're at the herbalist's hut. I'm just going to spend a moment pillaging all of her precious flowers. Okay, so just a little tip, if you're ever playing through the game, this herb here is Belaze fruit. This is actually, I can't remember ever finding this in like Velen or Skellige or anywhere besides White Orchard. Hello, Nilfgaardian. So when you're in White Orchard, try and sweep up as much Belaze fruit as possible because you need it for quite a few potion lists. Same goes for buckthorn when we have to find it underwater. You can find a bit of it in Skellige, but you're best just sweeping up as much as possible when you're in White Orchard. Okay.
Emperor far away. That griffin's a real scourge.
Okay, we've pillaged from the herbalist's garden. Almost. Let's go and talk to the herbalist.
Bad time?
Not at all. Hand me the beggar tickets, the... Red bloom. Well, well, one versed in herbs.
Probably saying too much, but I know a bit. For instance, that beggar tick's poisonous.
In large doses. Small ones soothe pain and bring forth pleasant dreams. Which is all I can hope to do for her.
Is that the griffin's attack?
Griffin do that to her?
Delina. Yes. Attacked her at night. She was walking in the woods.
At night? Through the woods? In wartime?
Meeting a boy. The young, you know, do foolish things for love. Wounds are healing, but she will die. Blood's pooling in her skull. Nothing my bruise can do to help.
So this the dialogue choice here doesn't make it clear what we're going to be suggesting, but I mean we could try and help her.
Could try to help her with one of my potions. Swallow can heal internal hemorrhages.
But
Witcher's potions aren't for humans.
she'll die as it is.
Yes, a peaceful death soothed by your concoctions. If I give her Swallow and something goes wrong, the whole village will hear her screams.
I understand. Do as you will.
So I don't believe this is a decision that Geralt will take lightly. We're going to need to come back to the herbalist later. So we'll think about this. We'll let Tomira just attend to her for a little bit, and then we'll decide what we're going to do later when we revisit the hut. So we're looking for some buckthorn.
Looking for buckthorn. Know if it grows anywhere around here?
Bottom of the river, where the channel's widest. But you do know that once out of the water...
It'll stink worse than a week-old carcass. Counting on it. I'm hunting the griffin. Need the buckthorn for bait.
I was thinking... A few years ago, we had trouble, drowners under the bridge. Whole village had to pitch in for a witcher. Who now can afford the bounty on a griffin's head?
Captain Peter Sars, something.
Ah, good to know the Black One's looking out for our welfare.
Nilfgaard values order, I think, is the best explanation.
Nilfgaard values one thing. Order. Griffin's disturbing that. It's gotta go.
Yes. First they'll tend to the monsters, then to the folk.
Not from here, are you? A lot of bitterness in you. Too much for someone who spent her life in a hut in the middle of nowhere.
True. And you're in a hurry. Elsewise you'd not use bait, just wait for the griffin to attack again.
Believe we could have an interesting conversation.
Maybe next time.
Okay. So we're going to go get some buckthorn, and we'll talk to Tomira about what to do
Move it!
with the person who's been attacked by the griffin a little bit later.
Come on.
Yeah, they definitely did a good job with White Orchard, just because White Orchard was it's like a tutorial area, isn't it? And it was also kind of like the game demo for a lot of the press. So yeah, it's a very pretty area. It obviously explains all the game mechanics, but yeah, it wasn't make or break for the studio, this game, but they really had to prove something with this. So we need to go for a dip. So there's lots of buckthorn down here. We'll gather as much as we can because we don't always get the chance to get it. And you'll need a reasonable amount of buckthorn to craft the killer whale potion, which makes swimming a lot easier. Allows us to see a bit better underwater. Okay, I'll just gather up all of these. Okay, that's all the buckthorn we're gonna get. Well, it seems like someone over here is having a little bit of trouble. So we'll seek to earn a bit of...
Something moved. Hey! Anyone home?
We'll seek to earn a bit of revenue while we're here, while we prepare to fight the griffin. So let's see what this lady wants.
Lost your key, ma'am?
No, not me key. Me pan.
A pan?
It always sat there empty, this hut. That is, till the night afore the battle. A man arrived, walked right in like 'twere his own. Was standing at my window, peering at the goings on. He must have read me, 'cause next I knew, there he was, coming my way. So, I grabbed me pan, for protection, see? But he just asks all polite, Gran, got any birch bark by chance? Lilac berries or even a few coals? Nay, says I. And you must be right daft to pester folk at night with such foolery. But I sees he ain't listening. Just staring at me pan like a magpie at a copper. Lend it to me, Gran. I'll give it back come morn. I was right baffled for what's he doing, frying in the dark. But I've got a soft heart, so I gave it to him.
So what happened next?
Interesting. What happened then?
Afore dawn, another rode up to the hut. But come morn, only the first fella left. Locked the door, hopped on his horse, and that were all I saw of him, and me pan. 'Twere old, black with sort, not worth much, I suppose, but I've no other. Will you help me, dearie? Bring an old widower pan. I could never break down that door myself. And in truth, I'm afeard to go in any road. Such a stench wafting out. Methinks the other fellow. Well, there he is lying there.
Okay, let's see what's
Never
going on.
taken on a pan contract. Fine, I'll go in, look around. You should wait here, just in case.
Let's strike the door down. It's quite dark in here, we're not surrounded by monsters, so we can use a torch. Sorry, I'm gonna loot all your house of all its items, Gran.
A corpse. Explains the stench. Cracked monocle. Interesting.
What's that, dearie?
Nothing.
So a monocle. There's a certain Temerian spy who wears a monocle.
His throat. He was garroted. And some old scars. Kind of soldier might have.
But when I gab to myself, they say I'm going barmy.
Documents, almost entirely burnt. A few pieces still legible.
Found the pan, have ye?
Ah, the priceless frying pan. Scrubbed clean. Looks like the mystery man didn't need the pan so much as the soot off it. To make ink, write letters.
Burned papers read. And when you arrange to meet, you fucking show up. I did, risking my life in the entire blasted operation, and ended up standing there with my plough and cock in my hands, waiting for nothing. I thought the Nilfgaardian army was better organised than that, but you... Tell that blessed Lord General of yours that me and my companions don't hold grudges, so we won't break off negotiations. But since our old plan's gone tits up, this time we'll choose the time and place for the next meeting. Okay, one frying pan.
Here, your frying pan.
Mine? But mine were black with soot, and I could see myself in this one if I wanted. But them years are past.
It was the soot the man needed. He scraped it off to make ink. Must have had an urgent letter to write. Urgently burned some other documents too.
And the other fellow?
Dead. Round up a few boys and bury him outside the village. Deep, so the necrophages don't dig him up. And take my advice. Don't mention this to the Nilfgaardians.
Hang about! You've earned a token of thanks. Here, sonny, for the road.
Okay, so it seems like there was some kind of meeting going on here between Tala and this fellow here. So the meeting went wrong. He's dealing with the Nilfgaardians. So he's perhaps striking some sort of deal with the Nilfgaardians. That monocle is obviously Tala's, and the amount of swearing and curse words in the letter obviously alludes to it being Tala as well. Interestingly, Tala can actually die in The Witcher 1, but I think that's kind of ignored for this game, because he does play an important role in this game. So we picked up a bit of food, not really anything useful, but we've learnt a little bit about Tala. So we're going to head over to the edge of the village and talk to this hunter.
Anyone home? Must be out hunting. Trail's fresh. Mislav just left home.
Here he is. Hello.
You, Mislav?
Hear that?
Wolves? No. Wild dogs.
Yes. More dangerous than wolves.
Why would they be more dangerous than wolves?
Dogs more dangerous than wolves? Don't think so.
It's the truth. Know why?
No, but I guess you're about to tell me.
Wolves hunt to fill their bellies. Wild dogs kill for sport.
Just like humans.
Aye. They've learned much from us. Why not cruelty too?
Where did you find the Nilfgaardian
I'm
soldiers?
hunting bigger game. The Nilfgaardians the Griffin killed. Where'd you find them?
Ah, I see. You a witcher. That monster slayer they's talking about in the village. I'll show you, sure. But, I gotta kill those mutts before they hurt someone. Will you help? That is, if you don't mind blunting your silver blades on them.
Well, it's not silver for dogs, but let's go.
Sure. Griffin's not going anywhere.
No, dogs might though. So step careful now. Come on.
These dogs been a problem for a while now.
Since the war started, soldier on the march, he'll stop to rape a woman, strangle her, kill her man for a chuckle, even butcher a cow. But a dog, a kick in passing, no more. So these stray mutts form packs. They're gaunt, guts stuck to their spines, covered in scabies, but they just won't die, 'cause they're clever. More so than foxes, and they hate men something fierce. Too late. Attacked another one.
Oh dear. Mislav doing some serious work. Oh dear.
Dieter.
You know him?
We served at the Lord's Manor together, where the Black Army's encamped now. He was a stable hand, I was the Lord's hunter. But that was before... well, a long time ago.
Before what exactly?
Before what?
Before they drove me from the village.
What did you do?
Nothing. I'm a freak. Sorry. I'd rather not talk about it.
Well, if we're going to work together, it'd be best to know if you're talking about something dangerous.
I'm a freak too.
Aye, but of another kind.
If it's lycanthropy, I can help.
What?
Lycanthropy. Werewolves. Handled a few cases in the past. It's usually a simple curse that...
The Lord's son, Florian, and I... we loved each other. Dieter walked in on us in the stables. They drove me away. Florian hanged himself. Lord started drinking, and the estate fell into ruin. That's the long and short of it.
Oh, I'm sorry, mate.
I'm sorry.
Ancient history now. I was to show you where I found the Nilfgaardians. Come.
Griffin, know anything about it?
Oh, not much. Not my kind of game.
You're his kind, though. Survival instincts alone ought to make you care.
I walk silent through the woods. No griffin can hear me nor spy me.
Okay, let's pick up the pace. This is the place.
'Twas here. One lay there, by the stump, headless. The other hung from a branch, guts splayed, stretching down to... Watch out for yourself now.
Well, I should be fine, hopefully.
I'll be fine. Not the first griffin I've dealt with. Not likely to be the last either.
Hope you're right. Good hunting now.
Okay, some huge blood
Ground's
stains.
black, saturated with blood.
They made camp here.
A camp.
Some bottles strewn about. Broken trees. Some tracks.
These prints are older and deeper, heavily armored. Nilfgaardians, probably.
A whole group of them. We got some treasure down here. So they were doing something in the woods. Something well out of a normal Nilfgaardian patrol.
Griffin's nest. What remains of it, at least.
So the soldiers came here to try and hunt the griffin.
Corpse is a couple of weeks old. Still alive when the griffin brought him here. Took a long time dying.
This is just like what Geralt explained to Bram, that they like to toy with their prey.
Bones. Horse. Dog. Human. A few months' worth.
Another Nilfgaardian here.
Female. Larvae in her wounds have already hatched. Been dead at least a week. Other griffin must be a male.
How did it die?
Deep cuts over the whole body. Not a drop of blood on the beak or claws. Didn't defend herself. Crept up on her while she slept.
If a degree of sympathy.
Beak tips worn. Gray hairs in the coat. 10, 12 years old. Griffins pair off for life when young. Male must be about the same age. Thick shaft, dense barbs. A royal griffin. Explains why the male I ran into was so aggressive. Hunted the Nilfgaardians down here in the forest first, then started prowling the area. Done all I could. Should talk to Vesemir.
So it's vengeance, it seems, even for a monster. Nope, we got the nest here. There we go. And I can hear what sounds like a place of power.
Magic. A place of power.
Okay, so we've got all the information we need about the Griffin, but I don't think we're quite ready to take it on yet. We could do with sharpening our swords, getting some new armor, and making sure we've brewed potions and oils. So we've exhausted most of our options. Now we need to head back to the village in White Orchard and see if there are any contracts for us on the notice board there. And of course, Vesemir has perhaps lost a step a bit. We can't really rely on him to get us through the fight with the Griffin, so we're going to need to be fully armed to take this Griffin on. Vesemir was the oldest living member of the Wolf School, and most likely the oldest witcher of any school on the continent. About as long in years as the ruins of Kaer Morhen themselves, and though eternally complaining about his creaky bones, this master of the witcher trade gave no thought to a well-deserved retirement. Grey but still spry, he continued to ply the monster hunting trade into his golden years. Effectively too, as he'd seen more beasts than all his students put together. A harsh and demanding instructor in Geralt's youth, over the years he'd become something of an adopted father and mentor to the other witchers, always ready to help with sage advice and steady hands. In the spring of 1272, when our story begins, Vesemir had joined Geralt on his search for Yennefer, trekking with him through war-ravaged Tomira. Okay, Roach, we're going to head back to the village. Oh, Celandine. We need Celandine, okay.
Damn deer, strip the bark off the trees again.
More Celandine, please. Beautiful. Any Arenaria? As I told you, blaze fruit always in demand. Although I can't see any Arenaria. Okay, that's enough flower picking. Alright. So we need to head back to the village. We won't talk to Vesemir just yet. We'll just go and have a look at the notice board and see what resources, what money we can earn.
Take it easy.
Geralt's always had a fondness for dwarves. Let's see what our friend, this blacksmith or armourer, obviously seems very upset about something. What's the matter, friend?
What happened here?
Oh, got a wee bit chilly the night, so I set fire to my forge. Got it nice and roaring. Roasted some wieners. What do you think happened, dimwit? Some bugger set alight me workshop. I've lost everything. Everything!
We did ask a question with a pretty obvious answer, so... Yeah, I'm sorry, dude.
Sorry. Any suspects?
Whole damned village. I've lived here half a century. Thought they saw me as one of their own. But everything changed when the Black Ones came. I'm the only smith around, so I got to service the garrison. Bang dents out of plate, shoe horses, that sort of thing. Nilfgaardians don't pay me a bloody copper. Just give me supplies and orders. But humans can't fathom that. They think I'm getting rich off their misfortune. That I sleep on a pile of gold like a ploughing dragon. They've stopped talking to me. Spit when I pass. And now this.
Well, we need his services. We could do with fixing our armor or getting some new stuff, so I can help.
I can find your arsonist, provided you're willing to pay.
I've not much left, but I'll give you all if you bring me that horse in, so that he gets what he deserves. The night of the fire, I heard movement outside my hut. Went out to see if I could find any tracks, but found nothing. But then I haven't got cat eyes, have I? Good luck.
Geralt has always had good friendships with dwarves. Zoltan, Yarpen, all the others who fought at Brenna.
Shavings from a tinderbox. Arsonist must have lit his torch here, tossed it on the roof, then fled through the orchard. Boot prints. A man's. Large.
So we've got a few motivations for the arsonist. Could be just simple kind of revenge for Fergus helping the Nilfgaardians, or it could be racism because he's a non-human. But as he said, he's lived here for a long time.
Stinks of piss and vodka.
So it's more likely to be the former. Oh, the spitting from the NPCs in this man is just incessant. Oh dear me. Looks like they went into the stream.
Took off his boots and went in the water. Probably wanted to cover his trail.
Very cautious. Got a little treasure chest here. The spitting. So we went into the stream.
I can't decide. Should we draw it or not?
Make soup out of something.
But Tosley said he'd not give his dog this water. Not with so many corpses rotting in it. It's sure to be poison.
Sure, not so sure. Who knows? Will you go to the well in Hovel instead?
Not on your life. I'd rather be ill than disturb a ghost.
So there's a ghost by the well in Hovel. Interesting.
Something jumped out of the rushes. Drowners. But he managed to escape.
So he got attacked by some drowners as he was covering his tracks.
Lost his boots in the rush. Bleeding, but not badly. Surface wound.
Oh, here's our friend Bram, who was attacked by the griffin. Hey Bram, how you doing?
Tracks lead back to the village.
I knows what I knows. Elsa bears her rump.
We meet again.
Thank you for saving me. People say all kinds of things about witches, but I've always known yours to be an honorable guild.
See, you managed to salvage some goods.
Yes, but I await the repair of my wagon. As time passes, my losses grow. Do you need something? I'll let it go half-free.
We'll see what you've got later, Bram.
Take care.
Good to see he's alright. We're a bit short on funds right now, but once we've got a bit more,
Bye, Tide Hellraiser.
we'll come back and see him.
That was hunting nearby. Started poking him, asking.
When he started
Good man.
twisting,
Hey!
swearing
Whose
off,
field
they
was
ran
that
back,
the
they
other
knocked his
side
head
of the
off.
river?
Oh,
By the
so
wolf
it
freak,
worked.
boy
Set to
and
some
clan.
town.
Good lad,
Sat
Master
on.
Witcher.
Witcher?
So he-
Had naught to do
Yes,
with it.
yes.
What
This
did the
boy,
folk do?
will he venture out to
could have sewed his
inspect
head
his
back
grain
on.
anytime
Word
soon?
is they
What
laid his
for?
corpse to rest.
Harvest is a long way off yet.
I think those plums are wreaking havoc on my gut.
Vesemir's searching for a suitable location, it seems. But we've got an arsonist to catch.
Trail ends here, but I'll recognize him by his wounds.
No one in here. Another spitting woman. Oh dear.
Found her claw marks. It's gotta be him.
Got a bandaged arm.
Nasty wound. Run into a drowner?
What the fuck do you care?
Whoa, our arsonist's a charmer too. Come on, Smith wants to talk to you.
I not talk to a non-human. Sons of bitches all, and dwarves are the worst. Greedy little magpies, do anything for gold they will. They forge the blades the black ones put to our throats. Am I not right? Listen, we can work this out man to man. I give you gold, you don't turn me in. My mum died a while back and I sold her tools. I've spent some, but what's left is yours.
I mean, what did he expect Fergus to do? If he would have refused the Nilfgaardians, they would have likely, you know, hung him for treason, probably, because he's refusing to serve his what is his new country, isn't he? So, no, we're not being bribed, unfortunately, sir.
Magpies and dwarves might be greedy, but I'm not. Can't buy me.
And I'll beat your fucking mug to a pulp.
No, sir, you can calm down.
Calm down. Now follow me.
Yeah, we don't need to start a fuss with the Nilfgaardians everywhere. Let's get him back to Fergus.
Looking for trouble? Goidemar, will you raise a glass with me?
It's Dervan now. D-E-R-V-A-N. Not Goidemar.
People changing their names to suit the Nilfgaardian rulers.
Pouring and Vermeer snoring. He bumped his head when he went to bed and whacked himself good morning.
What'd you say? Who told you that?
Jetty.
Now listen carefully. You'll never
Okay, Fergus, mate. We've got you an arsonist.
Up and at him.
What's going on?
Here you go. One village pyromaniac in the flesh.
Nap? You? I knew your mum for years. Charged her nary a copper. This is how you repay me. I've had enough. Hey, soldier. A minute of your time, please.
No! Willis, I beg you. I was drunk. Didn't know what I was doing.
I've told you, Master Willis. We will help you rebuild once reinforcements come. The supplies have been ordered.
Not what this is about, mate. This here's the arsonist. A witcher found him.
The forge was important to the garrison. Destroying it was sabotage. No trial needed here. Just a tree.
Yeah, everyone's gonna love you now, Fergus.
Villagers will really love you now.
Well, no, I don't give a flying fuck about them. You know, I hated the Black Ones at first, like everybody else did. Now I'm thinking they might just bring order to this place. Teach these layabouts some manners. But enough about that. Your reward. And I managed to save some things from the fire. Anvil still holds, so I'm sure I can bang something out on it. You need anything, let me know. Give you a good price.
So yeah, obviously it's a harsh punishment, but he burnt down the forge. I mean, and he was he was a bit of a racist towards Fergus, so maybe he didn't deserve to die, but those are the times that they live in. Let's get our armour patched up a little bit from Fergus.
A return customer. Welcome. What can I do for you this time?
Okay, we've got our armour upgraded. We just crafted a new warrior's jacket. It's the exact same looking piece of armour, just a little bit better. And the Dorian sword that we picked up at the Nilfgaardian camp is now on our back. So that's a bit stronger as well. So we've got our notice board here. Let's see what jobs we can find. Okay, so there were only 2 notices that were really of any interest for Geralt. There was one was a contract called The Devil by the Well, about a ghost or some sort of wraith next to a well. There was also one about a missing brother, someone who potentially died in the battlefield, and his brother wanted to give him a proper burial. So because even though the reward for it wasn't as good as the other one sounded, because of the time of day it'll be best to go now, because it'll be easier to search for someone in a corpse-strewn battlefield while the sun is high up in the sky. So we'll get Roach and we'll head over to the ransacked village that we passed on the way into White Orchard.
My gran told me about the Smith boy. Lad went missing one day, so
There's Roach.
was hunting nearby. Started poking him arse.
Come on, girl.
When he started twisting and squirming, so wham bam, they knocked his head off.
Oh, so it worked. Except it was some drowner that
The Emperor shall guide us straight to
nothing to do with it. Wicked sludge.
Contract. Brother missing. Bastian, my brother, went off to fight the Black Ones. I've reason to think he stood in the great battle nearby. He's not returned to this day. Like many others, you'll say, and you'll be in the right. But if he fell, and I know it's like he did, I'd give him up to the ground at least, like our fathers have done always. I'd bury him beneath the barrow where our parents lie, not leave his corpse to be ate by the corpses prowling the battleground. So I seek a man brave, able with a sword, and willing to venture out with me to find Bastian. I won't pay much, for I've not much to give, but I'm not stingy with gratitude and sure to show it a plenty. Any man willing to help, look for a raised hut along the road to White Orchard, just near the bridge. I've made camp there. June, Wildenvert. We're in the ransacked village now. We've just crossed the bridge.
We'll look for Bastian later, once it's safe.
So we can hear this fellow here talking to his dog about Bastian.
To the house.
The Guardians were pretty merciless coming through here.
Do that often? Talk to your dog?
It's my brother's, Bastian's, but guess he's mine now. See, Bastian fought the Black Ones in a battle just outside the village. Haven't had word of him since. I told him, do like I did, lose a finger or two so they won't recruit you. Too damn afeard he was. Bloody hell.
Have you looked on the battlefield?
I'd walk the battlefield if I were you.
I did. Sea of corpses. And corpsers feeding. Someone told me they're afeard of fire, so I took a torch, tried to chase them off. Horse shite, I tell you. Would have ended up eaten alive if it weren't for Hussar here. Listen, guessing you carry those swords for more than show. Come with me, keep the ghouls off. Help me find Bastian and I'll pay you well.
I'm here for some money.
Fine, I'll help you. Just been a few days since the battle. Chances we find your brother alive are slim. Very slim.
Who would have thought? But I want to find his body at least. So Bastian don't rot there in the sun with the Black Ones. Meet me on the hill overlooking the battlefield. We'll move on together from there.
Okay, so we'll meet Dune over by the battlefield. We'll let him get a bit of a head start. So what it does sound like though is that there are a bunch of drowners nearby, awfully close to these villages. So while we let Dune make his way over there, we'll deal with these pests. Over here. Oh, I'm stuck in the water. Beautiful. Okay. We didn't get any remains from the drowners. Oh, we got some from this one. Got some buried treasure here that these guys died trying to bury. Some decoctions. We picked up some drowner brains that we need for one of our potions. Now we can go help Dune. And of course we've protected these people from even more hardships because they were right next to the drowners. Let's go see if we can find the brother. He should be at the top of this hill overlooking the battlefield.
So many corpses, and the war's just started.
We can already see the ghouls on the battlefield.
You're here, good. Bastion... his body must be here somewhere.
Among countless others. Want to examine them one by one? Could take a while.
You needn't fret. The recruits from White Orchard painted a small flower on their shields so as to be able to spot each other in battle. There was just a few of them. We look for the flowers, we'll find Bastion quick.
No offense, but many a soldier's dropped his shield. Especially if he was on the losing side.
If we find the shield alone, Hussar will catch the scent and lead us to Bastion. Come on. Sooner we get this done, the better.
He's got hope. Okay. Let's see what we can find besides ghouls.
nerve.
Now, ghouls will start healing themselves unless you axe them. Masar's killing all the ghouls for us. Oh, this dog's better than a witcher. Okay. So we're looking for shields. Oh, with the Tomira lilies on, but also have a flower signifying that the people were from White Orchard. It's a Nilfgaardian shield. This one has the White Orchard symbol.
That him?
No. Doesn't look anything like him. Come on, Hussar! Can you smell Bastion, boy? Still nothing.
So many corpses.
That him?
No. Neighbour's son.
Starting to look a bit fruitless.
Come on, Hussar! Can you smell Bastion, boy? Still nothing.
Got another one over this way.
That him?
No. Neighbour's son. Come on, Hussar! Can you smell Bastion, boy?
No, we've got one more over here by a burnt corpse.
Skin's burned off. Might be hard to tell, I know, but could this be him?
Bastion was big, broad-shouldered. This one seems smaller, but maybe it's the fire did that. He found him! Hussar's caught his scent! Come on!
Come on, Hussar.
But there is more. My lieutenant demanded we defecate on command. Ballista bolts, landing all around, and all he could say was, "A soldier with a full stomach will not step onto the battlefield." Now shit, that is an order. Can you believe it? The cretin.
Stop! You're killing me. My ribs. It hurts to laugh.
That needs a tourniquet. But first, want to explain what's going on here?
Bastion! Is he... Has this Nilfgaardian captured you?
No. He saved my life. I got a cut to my side, and then got hit in the head. Couldn't see anything. Rosinia found me as he crawled across the battlefield. His legs twisted. And so we were. A blind man leading a cripple. Found this place.
I'm taking you home. We need to see to these wounds.
I won't leave Rosinia. Alone he'll die. And he can't go back to his own. He's deserted. They'll hang him.
And what if they find him with us? They'll hang us all, my Laisha included. No, the Blackened stays here.
Well, they're both right. I mean, as one of the notices said, if you're harbouring fugitives, then that's a hangable offence as well. But they owe each other their lives. Both are right. It's kind of strange that they let Geralt decide for them. I imagine they just make their own decision, but I feel like the more human thing to do is, because he's going to die if we leave him here, so if they leave him here even, so Might seem a bit naive and they might get caught, but they should take him in. They owe him that much, I suppose.
Bastion only made it with the Black One's help. Maybe you ought to show him Nordlings aren't as barbarous as Nilfgaardians make us out to be.
Well, I could give him our pa's clothes, teach him to work the field. But that accent... Fine, I'll take him in. Thank you, Witcher. Your reward. And the gods protect you.
Okay. Good job, Hussar. So this quest had a much nicer, bit of a happier ending, although a slightly risky one if they're going to have to find a way of integrating the Nilfgaardian into their village in an incognito way. But we'll leave this here. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Next time we'll investigate the Devil by the Well contract, investigate an interesting note about a Witcher that we also found on the notice board, and see if we're ready to take on the Griffin. So I'll see you guys next time. Farfail.